Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for supports if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye. All right. Welcome back to Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so I did promise this week I will be doing the Donald Trump's 20 core promises to the American people. So let's go through them right now. And yeah, so let's go through it. It says President Trump's 20 core promises to make America great again. All right, so he's still running on the slogan, Make America Great Again. I wish he had another slogan instead, because that was for the last 4 years he did, and America still didn't get great again, right? So you know, what I mean, we suffered under COVID, the COVID stuff and all that. I mean, the first half of Trump was great. People were thriving and the economy was thriving and stuff, but then the COVID stuff came in, everything went lockdown. So maybe that's why he's continuing the campaign of Make America Great Again. I guess I don't know. Um, but if they could do that under his first term, you can only imagine what they have planned for his second term. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, can you think about it? It's like they did that under this guy's first term. What are they gonna do under his second term? I mean, they might pull out all stops. You know what I mean? Like these guys are wicked. So the cabal elites, the satanic cabal elites, are wicked people, man. They're gonna if they're gonna allow Trump to get in there, and then they're gonna freaking and just bring out all diseases of the world, just all plagues and diseases. I mean, they're gonna make his presidency a living nightmare. You know what I mean? That's what I think. But and we saw signs of it in the second half of his presidency, right? So I don't know, man. This is and it doesn't matter because it's like if Trump's in there, America, we have a chance, but we're going to be dealing with global plagues, and all types of stuff. But if Kamala is in there, America's finished. If America goes into a second world country, maybe even a third world country, well, they don't even consider third world countries anymore. They call them developing countries. But America will go into a developing country and complete chaos, right? And we would definitely, and under Kamala, we would definitely be invaded by Russia and China. Our borders would be invaded by all types of illegal people and criminals, and we would be in civil war with illegals, right? And even with Trump, even if Trump wins, they're going to try to do that regardless. Remember, I told you the plans of the Democrats was if they lost the elections, they would blame the illegals, and then they would have citizens versus the illegals under Trump's presidency. I even had dreams about America in coming up, and it was bad. It just looked bad, really bad. And I know it's like near because certain details in the dream showed. I knew that we were right around 2025, 2026, because some personal things that were happening, and I knew that okay, and I was like, okay, this is around this time. So it's just nuts, man. It's nuts. I can't. I It's just the satanic people won't stop, man. You know what I mean? Like they can't chill and just say, you know what I mean? And they can't just chill. They gotta continue. And so when we see stuff like this, where's the godly people at to rise up? You know what I mean? And come together and say, there's more godly people than satanic people. Rise your butts up. Stop being lazy, right? And rise up and defeat these people, man. Like there's more good people. You don't have to even be godly, just good. There's more good people on the earth than there are bad people. They just make it look like there's more bad people. Just like there's way more conservative people on this earth than liberal. But they make it using the media, right? And the beast media, they make it look like there's more liberals than conservatives. But every day you walk around the malls, you walk around stores, most people are conservative, right? And so, I mean, their clothing is conservative. Most people, the way they talk, the way what they believe in is more conservative, right? It's not liberal. It's not, this mental illness thing that they got going on, Um, but uh, but anyways, let's go through the core values here of Donald Trump, and in my opinion, this none of this stuff matters, man. It's all a game, it's all a joke. Um, it's all a waste of time. The only thing that matters going forward, because these people want to literally depopulate the world significantly over these next coming months and years, for their Agenda 2030 to take over complete control so that they can, so their gods that they worship from other planets can come down here. That's another day for another story. Some of you guys know about that. Some of you guys don't. This is why they moved Agenda 50 to Agenda 40 to Agenda 30, because they believe that their gods from other planets are going to be coming quicker than they thought, right? And so they have to control the world before their gods come down and punish them for not controlling. This is why they're speeding everything up. If you guys don't know, all right. So I'm not supposed to talk about stuff on YouTube. I get it, but as you know, some of you guys don't know these things, and so I'm trying to let you know why they're speeding all this stuff up, right? So because before it used to be Agenda 50, right, 2050, and then all of a sudden they sped it up to 2030, and now they're introducing all these global plagues on us, right? Everything's speeding up, right? So that's why on their end is because of that. They believe that their gods are going to come from other planets and by 2030, and they have to control the entire planet before then. So, anyways, so that's why I'm saying none of this stuff really matters, man. That's why I keep telling you guys this election stuff, all this stuff is a waste of time. You know what I mean? It's a waste of time because we're fighting the wrong people. You know, there's bigger enemies above these people that control these people that we need to be fighting. We need to be, but they want you to look at Trump and Kamala and Bill Gates, and they want you to, and they want us to just focus on that and not the real people that are actually above them pulling the strings on them, right? Okay, so let's go through the core values now. Number one, seal the borders and stop the immigrant invasion. That is so common sense that the fact that can't liberals are allowing the borders to be um, open like this to bring in all types of criminals are coming in from all over the world. I mean, it's crazy. You see what happened in France. You see what happened in Europe. It's just, why would you want that for your country and your family? It's awful. Anyways, carry out the largest deportation operation in American history, and inflation, and make America affordable again. Well, you can't end inflation if the feds are constantly printing money. And Donald Trump wants the feds to print even more money under his presidency. He wants a weaker dollar and more printing. So how do we end inflation if we're out? And then he's going to be spending billions on the military like he did last time. So how can we end inflation if the money supply is just ballooning out of control and debts out? We're at debt out of our eyeballs, right? How do you end inflation if you keep printing, right? So we have to stop printing, and we need to hike rates. That's how you end inflation, right? You need to stop spending, hike rates, right? That would crash the markets, but that's what we need to do, though. You know what I mean? Um, and that's how you end inflation. That's how you end the central banks. Stop the printing, all right, and hike rates, right? But that's not popular. So you know what I mean. So that's not what's gonna happen. We're gonna be cutting rates, and we're gonna be printing money out of thin air, and yeah. So anyways, uh, see here, and inflation is going to go completely nuts, right? Make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. Okay, drilling, right? Stop outsourcing and turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower. That's what we were supposed to do. As with the global reset, America was supposed to be the manufacturer, and people from China was supposed to come over to America, and other places were supposed to come over to America for manufacturing jobs. Stuff. And then Biden got in there, and somehow with the with the not Delarue machine, but the with the machines and all this stuff, the ballot dumping at 2 in the morning, and then he changed all of that. He destroyed the warehouses, and all the corporate all those warehouse jobs were destroyed under Biden, right? So even for you African Americans out there that HBCUs were defunded immediately. The first week Biden was in office, did you remember? Do you remember HBCUs were defunded? Donald Trump had funded HBCUs. They were prospering under Donald Trump. And then Biden comes in office the first week he defunds all the HBCUs. That was crazy, you know? And here we are, people still talking about Kamala and Biden as African Americans. Like this is he literally the first week of his presidency defunded all the HBCUs that Trump had funded, refunded, right? And they were prospering. Atlanta was prospering under Trump. Houston was prospering under Trump. Detroit was prospering, was rebuilding under Trump. All that went away. Now Atlanta's a you know, ooh, Lord, you don't even want to go to Atlanta, right? Houston, same thing now. Detroit's back to being miserable, right? So this is all under Biden, right? So it's comical that people know that information and yet they still like DL Hughley and all these people in Hollywood still are tooting their horns about Biden and Kamala. It's crazy looking at the destruction that they've done to California, especially Kamala herself, and they still tooting these people. That's crazy. I mean, Negroes will never learn, I guess. Um, Okay, well, a lot of people are waking up because I see a lot of people. I see a lot of bronze people, African American people, African people making videos on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all places, Twitter, and they're warning the other race of people, the Asian people, the black people, the I don't even call them black, but the bronze people, the African American people, the ADOS people, Spanish people, everybody that has melanin they're and also Caucasians. They're actually, but most Caucasians are going to vote for Trump anyway, right? So they're not, because they're like we see the stupid stuff that's going on right now. This is not fun, right? And so, but there's a lot of people pushing this and saying, look, guys, here's the truth. You see it for yourself. Stop being part of the brainwashing and get your life together, right? So it's over if you vote for her. It's over, right? America's done. You talking about your taxes are gonna go completely nuts. And remember, she already gave it away. She said she's going to want 80 to 90% tax hike. That's crazy. And now she's talking about tax breaks here. That was no, she's only doing that to get funded. Look at what she said before she was the presidency or going for presidency. That's her real agenda, right? This is a fake agenda where she wants to get your votes. The real agenda is 90%, 80 to 90% taxes, right? Open border for illegal criminals to come in and a civil war between civilians and illegals, right? Allow Russia and China to invade, right? Weaken the military, continue to bring communism in, right? Extreme communism, right? Extreme ideologies and to flow through. No control. Parents have no control over children anymore, right? No, the government will make the decisions for you from now on. All these things is what she really wants to do, right? And it's being covered up with what she's doing right now just to try to get votes, right? All right. The good part is that we know that Donald Trump is this core value. We know it's Donald Trump because this is what he ran on last time, right? So we know that he's not lying, he's not faking, but we know that Kamala is. because she had 3.5 years as vice president, and she ain't done nothing. You know what I mean? And so all this talk about I'm gonna do this as president. I'm gonna fix the border. You had 3.5 years to fix the border, and you still have freaking what 4 months left to fix the borders. Go ahead and fix them. She doesn't want to. Her whole plan, you know what I mean? Like she doesn't want to fix the borders. She doesn't want to cut rates. She doesn't want to do this and do that. She doesn't want. If she would have, if she did, she would have already done it as vice president. Right? So it's ridiculous to run on stuff that you have power to do right now, and you won't do it. That's crazy. Um, all right, so we got here, make America dominant oil producing in the world, stop outsourcing, and turn America state into a United States into a manufacturing superpower, large cut tax cuts for workers, and no tax on tips. Now she stole that from Donald Trump as well. Even though she was the one that was pushing before all this, she was the one that was pushing for to tax tips, tax this, tax that. God, these people are such deceivers and liars. Um, and people know that, and they still don't care. And then they wonder why their lives are miserable. It's like God, defend your constitution, defend our constitution, our bill of rights, and our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech. That's going to be taken away from Kamala. The censorship's going to be crazy under Kamala Harris. You're not going to be able to do nothing. Right? You're going to be arrested for all the stuff you say. You know what I mean? Freedom of religion, the right to keep and bear arms, prevent World War III. Well, that's definitely coming on to Kamala. We're already in World War III, by the way. Right? It's an informational war. Most of it's 80% informational war. That's why we call it the global reset, and it's 20% physical war. Right? So 80% informational, spiritual, because there's been definitely a spiritual battle as well. If you guys are in the reset and you prophetically, you know what I'm talking about. So it's been a spiritual battle, but it's also been an informational battle, right? So World War III is an informational war, right? Informational spiritual war, and 20% physical. We talked about this 3-4 years ago, right? We're already in World War III, right? And it's informational, spiritual, and then 20% of it is physical. We're starting to see this physical side of it now, right? But beforehand, it was just informational and spiritual. All right. And it's part of the global reset that we're doing right now, right? All right. Let's see here. Restore peace in Europe and in the Middle East, and build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our entire country, all made in America. Okay, that's interesting. He did talk about that again with Elon Musk, right? The Iron Dome of America. That's interesting. Um, I think if we do this correctly, right? If Trump gets in, and then we get some other righteous people in there, and we do this correctly, right? We America, and then we have the dome set up with the missile defense system set up, and America could be a place where the rest of the world is under the beast system, but America isn't, right? If we do this correctly, right? And God's going to give us the tools here in the coming weeks, in the coming months, in the coming years. He's going to give us the tools to make sure that to give us a chance to do it correctly. It's going to be up to us to make that happen, right? But we could literally be the country, the land that is not under the beast system while the rest of the world is, if we do this correctly. But we have to vote in the right people. And the godly people have to rise and take control, right? And not be scared and nervous and, and shy and all this stupid stuff. We need to rise. And when the godly people rise, the rest of the country, the rest of the land prospers, right? So when God was in schools, when godly people were leading the country of America, and America was about God, America was prospering, right? And the land was fruitful with fruit and honey. 70s, even the 80s, but then all the crack cocaine came in and all that stuff. But that's why they tried to destroy it, right? But the 50s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s of America, right? Even the 90s, even though we had a lot of satanic stuff that was happening. America was still prospering in the '90s with the technology and all that stuff, right? And we still had God in schools, right? We were still saying God bless America. We don't nobody says that anymore, right? So it's amazing when God is in control and God is in the lead and godly people are at the forefront, the land prospers. But when we have all this foolishness at the front end and the godly people are in the back hiding, the land doesn't prosper. The land corrupts, right? So that's what we're going through right now. The land is corrupting in America and is corrupting very fast, right? And that's gonna implode the bond market, and the bond market is going to be a biblical event. That you guys have no clue what's gonna happen when that bond market implodes. I know what's gonna happen. I've seen it, but I'm not gonna. You don't want that to happen. Okay. It says here, but it's gonna have to happen at some point. The bond market is massive, like it's gonna pop. The bubble's gonna pop at some point. Donald Trump hopes it doesn't pop under him. It probably will pop under Donald Trump though, because why not, right? They're gonna probably make it pop under Donald Trump. They're gonna probably force it to pop under Donald Trump, right? Um, Okay, so let me see. What end the weaponization of government against the American people? Stop the migrant crime epidemic. Demolish the foreign drug cartels. Crush gang violence and lock up violent offenders. Okay. Now this one it said that the end the weaponization of government against the American people. Well, that's on the American people. Because if somebody in Congress and these people are writing stuff against you and doing stuff that are corrupt, and rise up and remove them, right? You have the Bill of Rights and the Constitution to do that. So these people in Congress and these people that are doing these evil things and wicked things against the American people and against America, they're doing it because you're allowing them to do it. You have the Bill of Rights and the Constitution to physically remove people from the government. Um, and charge them with treason, right? So that's on the people of America if they don't want to remove people that are that are against them. That's on American people because you have the right to rise and do that. So you know, um, building our cities, including Washington D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. Yeah, and unfortunately, under liberalism, everything turns dirty and disgusting and looks like complete filth, right? And then when a Republican comes back in, oh look, the streets are clean again for some reason. Right? This is crazy. Um, I mean, just look at the liberal cities. They're all filth and trash and homeless people. I mean, it's crazy. And then look at the Republic. Most Republican places are beautiful, right? Beautiful cities, beautiful places. And so, what I believe that what's going to happen now is because the liberals know that they're going to start coming into Republican places and they're going to start infiltrating them and they're going to start trashing those places to make it look like theirs. So and once again, the citizens have to rise to prevent that and stop it, right? Strengthen and modernize our military, making it without question the strongest and most powerful in the country in the world. Keep the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency. Okay, on this, I mean, you keep printing money and devaluing the dollar, that's going to be hard to do. Okay, fight for and protect Social Security and Medicaid, Medicare, and with no cuts, including no changes to retirement age. Okay, that's going to run out at some point, though. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security are all planning to be running out by what? 2030, 2035. So, yeah, good luck on that, right? So, it's funny that these things can run out, but yet the feds are printing unlimited amount of money. Isn't that really weird? The feds are printing unlimited amount of money for the last since Obama 2008 2009 crash. The feds have been printing unlimited amount of money, and Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare are going to run out by 2035, 2030. And the feds have been printing unlimited money. Why don't they just print $1 trillion, unlimited amount of money, and they got the Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security funded until 2100. But no, they're not doing that. Have you noticed that? Right? This is crazy. The more they print, the more it seems like the more they print, the more cursed the country is. Right? The more now we have record breaking homelessness right now, right? Last month's homelessness was record breaking. So America has more homelessness people right now than ever before. Yet the feds have been printing money since 2008. You would think they would take some of that money and educate the homeless people and put them in shelters and rehabilitate them. No, all right. So it's just crazy. The more they print, the worse we are as a country. Keep the U.S. dollar, because most of that money goes into the stock market. It's crazy. Keep the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency. Okay. And then it says cancel. We go down here. Cancel the electronic vehicle mandate and cut costly and burdensome regulations. Cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, radical gender ideology. You know, gender ideology, radical gender ideology is a last step before a country is destroyed and falls. Same thing happened with the UK when they were when they were the world reserve currency and they were the leaders of the free world. This same thing happened to them with the radical race theory, the radical gender ideologies, the gender fighting, the LGBT. This the history is just repeating itself. You know what I mean? And then boom, they fall. They lose the world reserve currency to us. You know, and now here we are, and we're doing the exact same thing, right? Mental illness, radical gender theories, and all these things. When a country's ready to fall, this is what happens. They care more about gender and mental illness and stuff. Everybody has mental illness now. It's a, it's how you know a country's about to fall, right? So same thing happening in the UK is happening here, right? Same thing. This is the same plot over. They just copy history. The Matrix copies itself over and over and over again. It's just the people need to wake up so they can break the habits and they can break the cycles of the Matrix. All right. And this is why they hate people like me. This is why they hate people like you, because because they see that we're awakened, right? And we know that we're in the matrix and we're awakened and we're trying to awake others. Now they send their people to try to stop us, right? So they attack us spiritually, they attack us physically, they attack us this, they attack us that, they make our names look bad, right? They call us all types of stuff, right? Because they realize we're awakened and we can awake other people. And when you're awakened, then you can get back to heaven. You can get back to you can get back to Christ. You can get back to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But you can also affect people in a good way, in a positive way, and you can rise people's frequencies. And when everybody's frequency is high, guess what happens? Sin becomes less. Darkness becomes less. This is why diseases can only live in low frequency. This is why demons can only live in low frequency. They can't be with God because God is on a high frequency. Ding, 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 ding. This is why liberals want you to be in fear all the time, so that your frequency levels are low and you make bad decisions. This is why. I mean, it's really simple. It's really simple. Are you on a high frequency level or are you on a low frequency level? You know, most of America's right now are on a low frequency level, and that's why we're seeing the stuff that we see in the world. People in Dubai are in a high frequency level. If you go to Dubai, you're gonna feel the energy of high frequency people, right? And that's why they're prospering in Dubai, right? But here in America, they want us to be on a low frequency, and that's why our streets are people just throwing stuff in the streets. People don't care anymore. Abandoned buildings and just all types of crazy stuff's going on in America now because people are on low frequency levels. All right. So, anyways, Let's go here. So let's see here. Cancel. Okay, we already talked about that. Cut the federal funding for any school. Okay, we talked about that. Keep men out of women's sport. That's crazy what happened in the Olympics there. You know, ladies, y'all got to stop that, man. Y'all ladies need to rise and stop that. That's crazy that you allow that man to go in there and punch those women. That's crazy. And men, what are the men doing? But I think a lot of it would stop if the ladies just rise and say, we're not going to compete. That's it, because that's your sport. If we rose up, they'll tell us to shut up. You know what I mean? Shut up. It's not your sport. If the women, though, the women say, we're not competing. If a man's in there, we're not competing. I don't care if he identifies as an alligator. If he looks like a man, we're not competing. You know what I mean? you know? And they will shut, that would be shut. It will shut. He will have nobody to compete against it. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy that women are stepping inside a ring with a grown man. That's crazy. And then getting beat the crap out of him, going, "Ouch! I can't believe he hit me like that." Yeah, he's a man. Golly. It's crazy, man. You should be boycotting all of that. Deport pro-Hamas radicals and make our college campuses safe and patriotic again. Secure our elections, including same-day voting, voter identification, paper ballots, and proof of citizenship. Yeah, you can't, go to the ballots and then say, and then the ballots, the places are closed right at 8 or whatever they close at, and then say, oh no, wait a minute, we got all these paper ballots that just sitting in a warehouse here. Oh, they're all for Biden. Let's go, throw them all in. Oh, 100,000 votes for Biden just came in 2 in the morning. That's the fact that that happened in 2020 and the U.S. Supreme Court looked the other way. I hope God has judged. I hope God brings severe judgment on them for what they did to our country and what they allowed to happen in our country in 2020. That was crazy. Um, and it says unite our country by bringing it to new and record levels of success. All right, so that's Donald Trump's 20 promises. Same things that basically almost the same things that he was talking about in 2020 as well. And if it wasn't for COVID, Donald Trump would have had a great 4 years. The first two was really good, right? People were happy, people were prospering. The feds were printing, so you know. And that's what he hopes again. But this time situations are different, and I think this time you better have your gold and silver, and you better be prepared, to become your own central bank and also get out of the cities when he gets in there, right? So yeah. So anyways, that's it. Peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next video. And let's see what happens going into elections. Will Donald Trump be in the presidency or will they find and figure out a way to trick the matrix and deceive the America and have somebody else in there? And I guess we'll see how it plays out. Y'all need to be praying that Donald Trump gets in there and that all of the things that the evil people plan on doing when he's in there or before he's in there is canceled and destroyed. And that God has mercy on America and his own people, the godly people. And the godly people rise, right, in this time period of the global reset, the completing of the global reset. The godly people rise and become the new 1%. Because when godly people are in control of a country, it's going to prosper regardless, and all the enemy's plans will be destroyed. All right, peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next video.